Hi guys, this is Sokomin here, and this is really awkward trying to talk by myself alone in a room. I don't even really talk much in front of my friends either, so here we go. So today I'm just going to be sketching in my sketchbook again while I answer some questions that I got from Instagram. I asked my Instagram followers if they have any questions for me regarding life as an artist, and my name is Benny Webtoons, etc. So for the first question, when did I start drawing? I think the first time I ever started drawing was 7 years old. So from 7 till now, I guess, should I call it an accident? My mom first found out that I really like drawing when I drew on the wall with my mom's lipstick, and my mom just came running and she's like, "Who did this?" And 7-year-old me was like, "Oh, Suki did it." Suki here is my aunt. So yes, ever since I was little, I started blaming people for stuff they didn't do. The reason why I started drawing really early on was because my mom was an art teacher. She taught elementary kids how to draw, and she also taught some college students as well at her little art academy, and so naturally I would just join and draw. So I guess drawing was like a playtime for me. Up until middle school, I think I drew a lot with my mom and some other kids, because when I went to middle school, that's when my mom stopped teaching art. So what inspired you to become an artist? That I just naturally wanted to be like my mom, not to be an art teacher, but I just like the free nature of the drawing classes, and I just really enjoyed drawing in her class. So that would have been my first step to wanting to become an artist. Do I go to an art school? I'm currently a sophomore in Art Center College of Design. But before, when I was in high school, I did take an art academy class. I only took it for 2 months. So hard to do th. What's bottom in English? Sometimes when I talk, I sometimes forget some English words, and when I speak in Korean, I sometimes forget Korean words. It's so inconvenient. But anyway, the art teachers at the art academy that I attended didn't really help me much, so I quit after 2 months. Actually, my mom forced me to quit because she was like, "Oh, let me see what kind of work you did at art academy," and I would just give her like practically the same drawing that I did last week. I guess that's kind of my fault, but the teachers there never really liked me anyway, so whatever. And also, I really hated that the art teachers, they will only help the kids who were really good at drawing. Like, they actually have a chance to get into college. So everything went really well after I quit the art academy. I just got ready for my art portfolio in the art class. You know, that art class where everybody just goes in to chat with their buddies instead of drawing. Yeah, that kind of art class in high school, not the AP art. I would just get ready for my portfolio by myself. And that's how I got into art school, art college. What motivated me to not give up on art? I think everyone can agree with the stress that follows from not being able to draw well. No, let me say that again. So when I'm drawing and it doesn't come out the way that I want, then stress follows after that. And I think that's where a lot of people give up on drawing. But I think the main reason why I didn't quit was the satisfaction from getting it down right, which feels so good. I kind of sound like a pervert here, but also another reason why I didn't give up is by looking at good art. Before, I did a lot of copying and tracing. Of course, you shouldn't trace something and put it online and say that's yours, but tracing and copying is another really good way to improve your art. And I think copying is a really great teaching tool because you gotta start somewhere. And I was like a big fan of Inuyasha back then, so I would pause at that moment that I really like and I would just copy. But a lot of people might think, well, you're never going to find your own style, or you're not a good artist if you copy from others. But copying is, if you're having a hard time drawing, I suggest copying at first to really feel how that line flows underneath that pencil you're holding without having much to think about correct anatomy and stuff like that. If you guys have seen my previous sketch videos, they are all model references from shopping mall sites. And Pinterest is a really good source too. And there were some people asking me over on Instagram saying, how do you come up with so many good poses for your sketches? But in reality, I'm just copying their poses online. And that's honestly how I think I could get better in drawing. I mean, you have to look at something to know how to draw it, right? Half of the question I got was about Benny and how I started comic. And you guys might think I sit down on a desk and I was like, I'm going to start a comic. But actually, I was searching on Pinterest and I came across this really, really cool editorial picture of this kid wearing a gas mask. So I would draw the gas mask and I was like, you know what? It will look good with a little cute skirt. And that's how Benny came to be. I just really like to draw things that don't correlate well with each other, like a really cute skirt with a punk ass gas mask. It's a combination that doesn't work, but it works. Does anyone get what I'm saying? So, long story short, I came up with the design of Benny because I looked at a picture on Pinterest about this girl wearing a gas mask. The end. The other question about my name is Benny comic was, how do I come up with stories? So what I do is whenever I catch my family or friends doing something really funny, or when they have great story to tell me, I tend to write it down on my notepad, maybe rearrange some of the details. So first step, I would observe the people around me. Second step, I would write down all the dialogues. So for example, Benny would talk to Timothy and then Timothy would talk back to Benny. Third step, I would sketch everything out. And the last step will be to make a clean line art. No, that would be the fourth step. The last step will be to color. As for creating Timothy, Isaac, and Faye, I actually had to do a lot more thinking than when I created Benny. The outfit design part was really easy to design for Timothy because his vest and white t-shirt underneath was also another reference that I got from Pinterest. I really like this male model wearing a vest, so I was like, why not make my new character wear it? And by new character, I mean Timothy. And then after that, I had to think about the personality that I wanted to give Timothy. if I created Benny to be very quirky and hyper all the time, then I needed a totally opposite characteristic of Benny. And that's how Timothy came to be. And as for Isaac, I needed an adult character to steer these kids around basically. If designing Isaac and Timothy took longer than Benny, Faye took really short amount of time to create because I wanted Benny to have a girlfriend. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for character designing. My name is Benny. So I still have a lot of questions that I haven't answered, and I think I'll do that next time on my video. Thank you all for the time you guys took to write down the questions for me and for all the support that I got from My Name is Benny Webtoon. Thank you again and see you next time.